What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and man oh man does it feel like a long time since I sat down and recorded a video. I know I've had uploads on my channel pretty consistently every single day for the past week, but I've been on vacation. It's been very exciting. I'm taking around a 2-week vacation, and I'm right halfway in the middle right now at the time of recording this video. However, I come back to my house just for 36 hours to sort of make sure everything's going all right and leave for a different location tomorrow, and in that 36 hours I wanted to sort of open some Rising Rampage product because it's the newest set and also the set that's going to rein in like the next season of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's very exciting. We got so many events in August, the UDS, the YCS, a whole bunch of regionals, a lot of which I will be going to, so it's very cool. But I wanted to open some Rising Rampage, and I thought that we would do it on the channel here. We have another box as well that we'll see in a couple days from now. Make sure to check out tcgplayer.com using my link in the description below. You guys have been going crazy using that. It's super awesome. I love all the tweets I get from people saying like, I just used your link to buy this new deck. But basically you guys have just been doing great with Battles of Legend and the ban list, and I'd love to continue that greatness through Rising Rampage. So if you don't want to buy any boxes, you don't want to waste any money getting packs full of cards you don't want, just buy singles and use my link to tcgplayer.com, which is in the description below. I also want to mention, because I bought some product, I got this Dark Ruler with the OCG artwork where he has horns. They've been doing this a little bit now, 2 years, right? Lost Art promotion. We had Monster Reborn with like the old artwork. We had the Exodia pieces. Now we have some Fiends in this batch, and this is the first one I've gotten. I don't know if my locals just like forgets to give them to me because I do buy a lot of product there, but it's cool. He gave me 2 because I bought 2 boxes, so that's kind of there if you guys haven't seen those. So as far as Rising Rampage, there is not a lot of positive things that people have been saying about this set. Are there short prints? Probably, but one of the things that is a known short print, because that's sort of their whole purpose, I suppose, is these new prismatic secret rares, and the possibility of us pulling one in this video or the next video where we open a box is almost zero. It is very, very unlikely. If that happens, you'll probably see it somewhere in the title because I mean, it is just so rare. They said that it's about 1 in 2 cases. That is 1 prismatic secret rare, of which there's 4 possible choices out of every 24 boxes. Can you believe that? That is crazy. As someone that's bought a Yu-Gi-Oh case before, it definitely leaves a weird situation, because the problem with buying cases right now with Rising Rampage, that the set itself doesn't have a ton of high valued cards. I know that when this video goes up, the set will have only been out for like a day. Obviously we had sneak peeks last week, but overall the problem with sets like this, so there's not a ton of high valued cards, which is fine, I guess, especially for budget players. When you're looking at like making your money back on cases, it's really, really hard. I mean, I bought a case of Savage Strike and I barely made, well, I didn't even make my money back on the cards that I sold, and it's tough, right? Because that set had Phantasme, it had Pot of Extravagance, where this one doesn't have either of those types of cards. It has some pretty decent cards, but nothing really, really high valued. But if you pull a prismatic secret rare out of your case, then you will probably make your money back. But that really leaves it down to like, is that like, it's almost like a form of gambling, right? If you buy a case, you pull a prismatic secret rare and make all your money back, or do you lose everything? Who knows? This set is not seen as like the most competitive thing, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be super competitive, but it is weird to sort of rein in the next season of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! With a set that's not like super fantastic. Dream Mirror Fantasy. What if we zoomed in? Would that be crazy? That is way too crazy. Sorry, we're never doing that again. Dream Mirror Fantasy, Marincess Sea Star, and we have a secret rare right off the bat, Marincess Marbled Rock. This is a Link 3 monster that takes 2 waters. It says you can target 1 Marincess card in your graveyard except this card, add it to your hand, and you can only use this effect once per turn, a hard once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send 1 Marincess monster from your hand to the graveyard. For that battle, monsters can't be restored by battle. Also, you take no battle damage. Honestly, not the secret rare that we were looking for. There's obviously a really good Link 4 in this set, and even the Link 2 Marincess is a very good card for frogs, but still, it is in fact a secret rare. And we have Vic Viper T301. We have Victory Viper in the new form, pretty cool. Set Uppercut, Fuma Wave, and Cross Debug. As far as cards that I'm looking for in this set, I think Get Out is like the main one. I really think that card is pretty cool and could be a pretty popular side deck option in trap-based decks or slower-based strategies, or just anything going second, especially if Pendulums end up being good. We have Defender of the Labyrinth, Smorg Bird of Beginning, that's pretty cute. Dwimmered Glimmer, okay. White Aura Monoceros for our super rare. We have Rising Fire, which we actually pulled out of our sneak peek packs. We have that guy that I definitely can't pronounce. That's kind of fun. I think it's an OC import, right? Let's take a look. It is, in fact, an OC import. Set Uppercut again, Sacred Lands of Smorg, and we have Yosenju. We got some Yosenjus. There's lots of win cards in this set, and it's not necessarily like a bad thing for a set to not have a lot of competitive cards, because I know for budget players it's cool to have like a set where there's not like too many crazy chase cards, but from an investment standpoint it is kind of rough, especially because, yeah, if you pull those prismatic secret rares you make a lot of money, but nothing really, if you don't pull those cards, it's pretty hard to actually make your money back. We have White Howling. Although I have said in the past, I've mentioned that it's pretty much impossible to make a box where you always make all of your money back. That's just not how it works. If the set is that good, then the values will decrease because people are always pulling good cards. We've seen that happen in the past with things like Gold Series are usually the sets that come closest to that. And even then, usually after like a month or so, all the cards drop in value, so that doesn't actually be the case anymore, which is not good English at all. Oh, nice. You have Barricade Board Blocker. One of the best cards in the set. I'm actually really surprised this card was not a secret rare. Once again, cool for budget players, but for people that are buying boxes, maybe not so good. This card lets you add a continuous or field spell from your graveyard to your hand during the end phase just by discarding the card. Really cool guy there. Might actually see a ton of play in a variety of decks. We have an ultra rare, Shaman of the Tenyi. I've heard some people say that this deck plays Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We will have to wait and see if it actually is competitive, because if that deck ends up being competitive and if it plays Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, then I might have to change the video of why nobody plays Ultimate Dragon. We have, oh nice, we have the Desperate Doom Eagle, one of the better Link monsters in this set. Once again, a TCG exclusive. World Legacy Pistol, Smorg Repulsion, Draw Discharge, and Reptilian Lamia. But yeah, I don't know, Rising Rampage, it's okay though. We just had a set that was insane, a ton of people bought it, Battle's a Legend, pretty crazy stuff there, so we don't have to have every set be, oh cool, Volt Tester, that card's awesome looking. Number 29, Psychic Fervor. The Dream Mirror Mara. Oh man, those Dream Mirror cards, a lot of people are hyping them up. I'm not sure why, they seem really bad to me. Fortune Lady Rewind. Beat Raptor, a common. Fury of Fire, common. We got two of the last special edition promos in this pack. Those are both of the preview cards from Rising Rampage that were in the last special edition. Neither of them really saw play. I actually thought the Fury of Fire might see play, but I was sadly mistaken, which is okay. But I thought that it's so funny. There's so many good sounding great spells and traps that just don't see play. We have Dream Mirror of Joy. So we have one of the field spells. I can't remember. I think that's the field spell we pulled in the last video as well in the sneak peek opening. We got some cool stuff. A Rogue of Endymion. It's not Endymion, right? It's Endymion or whatever. I always pronounce that one wrong, as I always pronounce everything wrong. I think you guys come to expect that, even though I was an English major, I was not an English major in reading Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The Return to the Normal. Pretty cool artwork. Reversible Beetle, Defender of the Labyrinth, Smorg Bird of Beginning, and Dreamer of Terror. So we pull both field spells back to back. They're really cool artworks on those cards. I don't know exactly how competitive they are. That card looks really cool as well. Nice. Smorg Repulsion, Cataclysmic Chronic Coldo. All right, DMZ Dragon, which I mentioned last time is only one letter off of my actual initials. So it would have been pretty funny if it was my actual initials. We have Smorg Onslaught to send you Wind Worship, number 29 again. Morpheus, the Dream Mirror, White Knight. Holy crap, look at the 4 Dream Mirrors right in a row. Pretty funny. We have 10-year Spirit Mapura. I don't really actually know what these 10-year Spirit... I know that they deal with like non-effect monsters, but other than that, I am not very well versed in what those cards do. Just because, I don't know, it's hard, like, preparing for, like, which cards will we get out of set. I mean, you can spend a lot of time learning the ins and outs of every single strategy and every single pack, but the fact of the matter is a lot of those cards just won't actually be played. We have Link Mill Archfiend, which is a Link 4 monster. But yeah, a lot of those cards just won't be played, so it's like, yeah, you can waste a lot of time if you read every single card. I mean, it's good to, like, read all the cards, but in terms of, like, actually knowing, like, the normal builds and the normal combos, you can waste a lot of time learning about combos that probably will never get played. But if you have spare time, I mean, it's not like the worst idea I've ever heard. Hurricane Blocker again. Oh, we got, and this card's actually kind of funny. This is Spirit Sculpture, and this card is hilarious because it can add like a lot of random things to your hand. So it says you contribute one monster, add one monster from your deck to your hand whose combined original attack equals the combined original attack and defense of the attributed monster. You can only use the effect of Spirit Sculpture once per turn. So this thing's cool because it can not only attribute other monsters you control, maybe do some crazy combos with that, but it contribute itself as well. So there's like someone made a list of all the cards that this thing can search by by Tributing itself, and it's actually kind of funny. I think one of the funnier ones, I believe, is can search Necros of Brionic randomly, but there's like a whole list of cards out there that this thing can search just by Tributing itself. Obviously, if you expand it to including like attributing other things, what the heck is that? Baba Barber. Okay, 2 months. What is this? I don't even know. Weird arrows. But anyway, yeah, it's like you can pretty much do anything with this card. It can search anything, which is kind of funny. We have a couple cards like that. There's like Dogu is in the game, which technically can search almost any card in the entire game. When you go to like the Wikipedia page or the wiki page for Yu-Gi-Oh, you see a bunch of every single card basically will say that it's searchable by Dogu. We have a Monk of the Tenyi, one non-link 10. How do you pronounce that? Tenyi? I don't even know. Probably pronouncing it wrong. Like I said, not the best at that. Majestic Magician. Okay. And the last one for this side, we will see. I don't actually know. We're not going to pull a Prismatic Secret Rare, but I don't actually know if the Prismatic Secret Rare takes the spot. Look, it looks really cool, actually. Smorg, Lord of the Storm. Look at him. That's pretty sweet. Okay, that's actually a cool looking super rare. I don't actually know if the Prismatic Secret Rare, if you do happen to pull it, if it takes the spot of the other secret rare that you're going to pull, or if you pull like crazy boxes that have... Well, I guess the Prismatic can be a lot of things. There's one rare, one super, one ultra, and one secret rare that all can come in the Prismatic rarity. So I'm not actually sure. Hypernova Burst. Wow, exciting. But I'm not sure. It would be pretty crazy. At the time of filming this, there aren't even a lot of YouTube openings out there right now that have the Prismatic cards pulled. They are just so rare. At least last week for sneak peeks, the Link 4 monster that was Prismatic was $400, and the other three, I believe, were floating around $150 to $200. I'm sure those values have dropped. I haven't really been checking because, like I said, I've been on vacation, but those cards were insanely valuable. They're just so hard to pull, especially when you're looking at a limited release like sneak peeks. We have Ikulos, the Dream Mirror Sprite. So we pull a lot of Dream Mirror cards. We should have one ultra rare left in the box. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the Dream Mirrors. I think their artwork is cool. I think they have potential, but I don't know about right now. It might be difficult for those Dream Mirror enthusiasts out there, but maybe that's okay. You know what? Maybe after a year of the dangers in every single deck, or in a lot of competitive decks, even from the very first wave, maybe it's fine to sort of take a break and just have a less competitive TCG exclusive archetype. Although I think, and especially just looking at my own comment section, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of players out there, you guys even included if you're listening, that really was hoping for like some Time Thief cards, because we only got one wave of those and they are pretty good. They do have some cool cards. Well, this card's cool. BES Blaster Cannon Core. I always love the BES cards. They have some really nice ultimate rares from back in the day. Weren't very competitive, but they do look pretty nice. But yeah, a lot of people were hoping for Time Thieves. We only got that one wave of support, and that wave of support, like Redoer, sees a ton of play, and they have like a Spiral Super Agent, kind of. It's more like a Stratos, and they have like a Rescue Cat for the archetype. Lots of crazy cards all in that archetype. We have, oh my gosh, we have a Witchcrafter Golem Aruru, however you pronounce that, but this is the exact secret rare that we pulled from our sneak peek opening. If you guys remember last week when I went to the sneak peek, oh man, this must just be the secret rare that likes me a lot. I'm not a big Witchcrafter fan, although you can technically play that in Altergeist if you were wanting to be crazy. Oh man, I don't even know how much this card's value has fallen. I can't imagine that card would be that expensive just because it is not the best card, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a hint. Well, first copy of FA Shining Star GT, I guess second copy overall, and then we have, whoa, Avada Rebuilder of Worlds. Pretty crazy looking card. One of those big monsters that has crazy summoning requirements. But yeah, these FA cards, I don't know. A lot of people want me to update FAs, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling it. I think the FA ship has sailed, or the FA car has driven in the sunset, because it's looking rough for those cards. Dream Mirror of Terror. Again, so we have two copies of the Terror Field Spell, and I think if we count the sneak peek opening, we have 2 copies of the Joy Field Spell as well. Pulled a lot of Beat Raptors. Sometimes, actually I don't know, but I don't know if Beat Raptor is one of those cards that I feel like that's one of the cards that Konami usually tries to short print. Just good level 4 monsters, if you think of like Fairy Tale Snow. And we have the cover card, Borreload X Charge Dragon. Pretty crazy, and I guess I can't use him in the thumbnail because we already used that in the thumbnail of the sneak peek. Or no, we didn't. No, we did it in some other set though. Oh, I was reading the TC exclusives. Yeah, oh well, we won't put him in the thumbnail. We'll put something else crazy in the thumbnail. Star Power. Man, the TC exclusives in set were so weak. It's very, very disappointing. Some of the OSG imports are good, like the Dragoonity Link monster. We'll probably see some play at least, but the TC exclusives and the FA Link's kind of cool to have. But we have a Simorgh of Darkness. That's a cool one as well. I actually really like those cards a lot. Dark Simorgh was one of my favorite Monarch tech choices, because I believe you could summon that card with Ether, right? It had 1,000 defense and more than 2,400 attack. Kind of a random interaction. Link Mill, Archfiend. And then we have, oh, that is one of, we didn't pull the prismatic version, but this is one of the prismatic secret rare possibilities. Win the Wind Charmer Verdant, and this basically has the exact same effect as Hita, just for wind monsters, and it's going to be pretty crazy if we get the other two. Well, I guess there's a different charmer for all of the 6 attributes, whatever, but if we get like the main 4, wind, fire, earth, and water, that could be pretty incredible. Those cards, I mean, to be completely honest, this card kind of just power creeps like the Great Fly Link monster, the Link 2, just because it doesn't take 2 wins and it doesn't give an attack boost, but it special summons monsters. Obviously very powerful. And then for the last pack, we have White Howling. No prismatic secret rares, as to be expected. Do not buy these if you're looking to get prismatic secret rares, even though it is cheaper to buy a box and get a prismatic secret rare. Unfortunately, you do not pull them very often, so if you really want one of those cards, maybe just buy singles. Anyway, though, I think this is a great example of why you probably should buy singles. I know I mentioned at the beginning, but if you're going to buy singles for this set or any other Yu-Gi-Oh set, make sure to use my link in the description below for tcgplayer.com. Not only does that get you guys the cards at the best prices available online, it also goes right back into the channel, helps me out a bunch. You guys absolutely have just been killing it with like the Battles of Legend and the ban list purchases. So if you want to buy any Rising Rampage singles instead of buying boxes like this, make sure to use that link in the description below. Anyway though, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Goodbye.